Your electric vehicle is a gray SUV with a safety tag. Unknown direction of travel, incident occurred on water.
Hey there, everyone, and thanks for checking in on your forecast for this Wednesday, this hump day. Not the prettiest look out there so far for this afternoon. We're starting to see this cold front approaching even closer, and in case you are in any of our in our inland counties, potentially Clark County, you're probably starting to hear a lot of those rumbles of thunder. And also get ready, as we are starting to see some of those severe thunderstorm warnings firing off along this line. So gusty winds, heavy rain, and also hail possible within all of this. Let's go ahead and dive right in, see what we have going on our radar. So this is going to be the wide look at it, seeing all of those alerts. There's a mixture. Those pink boxes going to be the severe thunderstorm watch currently in place. Severe thunderstorm warning is going to be those orange boxes. And then also what we're continuing to see with this line is, as it moves on through, all the bright blue on it, that's going to be those lightning strikes. So a very active line moving through. Let's go ahead and break this down just a little bit further. So this is just going to be the alerts by themselves. Again, that severe thunderstorm watch currently in place. Going to be those pink boxes for a lot of our counties, mainly the inland areas. But even if you're out of this, if you're in Mobile and Baldwin counties, you still have the potential to see a lot of these strong thunderstorms. So the best chance is going to be further inland, but we're still continuing to monitor the chance as these move further down towards our southeast. Let's go ahead and look at this line as a whole. Starting to see it extending from Montgomery through Hattiesburg and on the way towards Jackson and Leakesville. As we get closer towards your evening commute, that's when we're really going to start to see it moving through Mobile and Baldwin counties. So it's going to be a heavy rain and gusty wind drive, so make sure you are getting ready for that. Also, in case you had trash day to day, before this comes, bring your trash can inside or anything else that could potentially blow away. As again, we are seeing those winds as a very large concern so far for this afternoon. Let's go ahead and zoom in just a little bit closer. There we go. This is where we're seeing all of that activity taking place. Thomasville, Grove Hill, Chatham, all starting to see a lot of that activity ramping up. A lot of lightning strikes at that too. So Coffeyville State Line also extending down towards Sandhill. Leakesville, not quite seeing it yet. And then in case you're in Citronelle, Mount Vernon, Stockton, you might be seeing some of those sprinkles out there. But again, it's all coming. It's all going to be heading your way. So let's go ahead and move just a further back up north. So again, Thomasville, Grove Hill, seeing a lot of those lightning strikes. I'm going to go ahead and query it here too, so you can see just how many we're seeing in that area within that red box. 353 strikes within the last half hour. So the past 30 minutes, we've been seeing 353 strikes there. So quite a bit. Quite a bit. So very active storm. You're probably hearing a lot of that thunder and lightning out there. Also some heavy rainfall on the way too. Also something else to keep in mind with this line of storms, it does have the potential to have those gusty winds, potentially gusts over 60 miles per hour. Sustained winds though, still going to be about 25 to 35 miles per hour. So I really want to get that known, that if you have anything that could easily blow away, bring it inside. We've even been hearing of trees falling as this line moves through earlier through Mississippi and Alabama, getting a lot of reports of that as it is approaching closer towards us and then heading further on into this evening. That's where we're going to start to see it move through Mobile, Baldwin counties and the Panhandle. So everywhere going to be seeing this line of storms. It's just going to be that timing that's going to be differing for each place. I'm going to go ahead and time this out a little delayed there. You know what, I'm just going to draw a new one actually. Let's go ahead and time out some of our areas. It's going to start to see this next. This line is moving at about 30 miles per hour, so pretty fast. Let's go ahead and draw. There we go, 30 miles per hour. So Citronelle, you can expect to see this line moving in just a little bit near 3 o'clock. Loosedale looking closer to about 3:20, and then also Monroeville looking closer to about 2:50. Now these times could vary by just a couple of minutes, but this will be the best bet for that you're going to be seeing this within about the next hour. Even if you're closer, if you're Vinegar Bend, going to be seeing it within the next 10 minutes moving on through, just on the edge of that line. Gusty winds and also hail still possible. Now that tornado risk, it's still there too. That chance is low, but still a threat. We've already seen one tornado warning fire off within this line north of Clark County, so it wasn't in the Fox 10 viewing area. That's why we did not cut into your programming for it. It was a brief tornado warning, not on for very long, but just something to be aware of is that we could come on air here soon once this line starts to move in case we start to see a bowing segment or in case there is some rotation within it. So something to be aware of. It's on the lower tier of the threats that we're talking about, but not zero. So we are monitoring that threat there. And again, in case there is a tornado warning, we'll come on the air, but do make sure that you have your ringer on in case you do find yourself within one of those polygon boxes, and also have that Fox 10 app downloaded. Let's go ahead and zoom in just a little bit closer. There we go. This is what I wanted to show, but it disappeared. There you go. I was looking at some hail potentially earlier. This one just outside the Fox 10 viewing area, just near Toxie and Thornton Springs, just near Needham too. And so we were picking up on some hail just over an inch in diameter on our radar. So something to be aware of is that most of these severe thunderstorm warnings are coming with the potential for golf ball sized hail. Something else to be aware of, that is a very big risk so far. Haven't been picking up on any recently. It's just going to be those little gray specks that you see. They just briefly pop up in some portions of the line. So while that threat isn't high, it is still there too. That'll just be mixed in. So we'll continue to monitor the threat for hail. And in case you see any, let us know. Best eyes on the ground. Send in your pictures and your videos to Fox 10. You can DM them, you can tag us in them. Just pretty much any way that you can think of, we will gladly take those. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the severe weather risk. We are under that slight risk, that 2 out of 5. The biggest risk is going to be for the gusty winds. That's why we are under that 2 out of 5 risk zone. That wind, it's persistent. It's going to be breezy and also gusty. And that's not just going to be on that line of storms. That's going to continue further into tonight and into tomorrow. So we're going to be seeing clear skies, a cold front. This cold front is going to be dropping our daytime highs by almost 20 degrees. It's going to be much cooler for your Thursday. And so starting off tomorrow morning, we're going to be seeing those 30s and those 40s. But with that wind accounted into it, it's going to be feeling much colder. So there's something else that I wanted to go ahead and talk about too. Let's see. This is going to be for the watches and warnings. Let's see if it'll pop up yet. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Here we go. I wanted to talk about this blue. It's not on the little bar at the top, but that is a freeze watch. That means that areas further up to our north have the potential to get pretty chilly tonight. And so do be aware of that. Mainly going to be a lot of that wind chill too. So that wind chill factor really going to have to be taken into account, that those temperatures will drop tonight behind this cold front. And it's going to be a cold start to your Thursday. Again, that wind chill going to be making it feel 10 to 15 degrees cooler. But really, we're going to be seeing those temperatures only drop down, the actual temperatures, to about the mid-30s. But we do have the potential to walk the line with that freezing, especially the further up north that you are. So just north of Thomasville, going to start to see some of those threats. But here locally around Mobile and Gulf Shores and the coastal spots, we're going to be seeing those lower to mid-40s. So not really the freezing, so that's why we're left out of this freeze watch. But we're still going to be feeling those cold temperatures. So do take that wind chill into account tomorrow. You will need your coat. It's going to be sunny skies though, so it's going to be clear. It's going to be pretty outside. But trust me, it will be a cold start, and you will want to turn on that heat heading on into this evening. I'm going to go ahead and look back at this line. Moving through Chatham, Jackson, and Thomasville right now, all of these areas currently under the severe thunderstorm warnings. Just means that you have the potential to see a tornado within this, but not right now. This is just going to be those gusty winds. We're getting gusts over 60 miles per hour. I was going to go ahead and pull up the National Weather Service chat. This is a tool that we have where we can talk directly with other meteorologists in the area, especially the National Weather Service ones. And they pretty much tell us what they're seeing, if they're going to issue any warnings, but also it's where we can get some of these reports. I want to go ahead and talk about the severe thunderstorms. Their most recent update is that they're going to be moving into the western portions of the warned areas of Wilcox and Monroe counties through 3:15, and then they're going to be moving into northern Connecticut County around after 3. The primary threat is those damaging winds, but then also they do have the potential for that quarter-size hail. They've been getting reports of the quarter-size hail, but as you saw on our radar, it was showing that potentially that golf ball-size hail over 1 inch in diameter still possible. And then earlier I was reading that there were areas that could potentially see some of that local flooding threat with this, but then also those trees that were knocked down in other areas. I was trying to find it on here. Well, I can't find it anymore. But again, in case you do have any storm reports, please feel free to send them our way. We will always share those on air. But I do want to wish everyone here a happy Wednesday. Do stay safe out there. Do stay weather aware. But the biggest thing with these storms is going to be that heavy downpours and those winds. I don't want to downplay the winds at all because these do have the potential to knock out power. They have the potential to knock over any trees, especially if you've been holding off on any to work with after Hurricane Sally. I know I've seen quite a few that are still leaning after that. A lot of folks still with some tarps on their homes. Make sure that those are secure. Make sure you go and check those before those get here because this wind is no joke. It's going to be continuing heading further on into this evening. We'll check on the wind right now, but most of these sensors are further to the south, so they're not quite in that line of storms. Yeah, right now it's still out of the south at about 15 to 20 miles in both places. But once we start to see that line really begin to move on through, that will begin to change. We'll continue to keep you updated here on Fox 10 as we continue throughout the evening. Just want to give a quick update on a lot of those severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, if there is a tornado warning, we will cut into programming. But we do have Fox 10 News starting at 4 o'clock here soon, about within the next hour and a half. And that will be as it approaches closer. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and show a future cast too, just to show the timing. Here you go. Let's start off this future cast. So we can expect to see this line of storms move through around downtown Mobile into Baldwin counties closer to about 5 o'clock. So do keep that in mind for your commute in case you're driving home around this time, in case you're picking up your kids. It's going to be wet. It's going to be stormy. Make sure you pack your patience driving on those roads. A lot of cars are going to be going slower with the heavy rain. Also those gusty winds. You'll probably find yourself gripping onto that steering wheel just a little bit tighter, but that'll continue further on into the overnight hours and into tomorrow. For northwestern Florida and our friends in the Panhandle, moving through Pensacola closer to around 7 o'clock. So approaching closer towards sunset during that time, but still. Fantastic too. So I'll see y'all at 4 o'clock on Fox 10 News, and then also Jason will be on at 5 o'clock, 9, and 10. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout the evening. Please drive safe out there and continue to have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye, guys.